Aloha. Sharing some nutrition tips with you that I wish I knew years ago when I first started this journey. So I'm so happy to share them with you now. So the concept of warming and cooling foods, like in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, I've found to be pretty life-saving actually. So it's really important to tune into your body. How do you feel? Like, do you feel that you're cold and spacey and maybe in this upper head space? You might need some warming, grounding food. Or maybe you feel hot and fiery and angry. You might need some cold, cooling cucumber mint water, or smoothies, salads, raw food, things like that. Raw food is excellent because it's very high in enzymes and it's in its purest form. However, do not overdo it with the raw food if it's not good for your constitution. I did this and I was very imbalanced actually doing this because it was just too cold for me and it basically put my digestive fire out, and my constitution needs a little bit more warming grounding. So it's definitely not for everyone. I know that there's people out there thriving, they're in the tropics, they look amazing, you want to look like them, you're like, okay, I'll do this. But I do want to let you know it's not for everyone. So I love raw food, but not all the time. I do need the warming grounding. So listen to your body when it comes to that for sure. Also, be aware of your gut health, the bacterial balance. So, you want more good bacteria than bad bacteria. You can feel when it's imbalanced if you're feeling like bloated and you're craving all the sweets and fruit, and then when you eat it, it almost makes you feel sick and more bloated. That's an indication that you might have too much bad bacteria. So, things that you can do to kill the bad bacteria: oil of oregano, olive leaf extract, pau d'arco, garlic. You can go to your local herbalist or health food store and get some recommendations there of things that you can add to your meals and herbs and supplements that you can take to help rebalance. And then you want to be having the good bacteria like kombucha, and I love Tonica kombucha, and probiotics, so the actual supplement, or tempeh, miso. There's various kinds of miso. My favorite is the chickpea miso. That one tastes the best. I love making soups and curries with it. It's super delicious. Just add it at the end of the soup though, because you don't want to destroy all of the beneficial properties of the miso, the good bacteria. It's like you wouldn't cook sauerkraut. You want to add it at the end, right? And that's another great food, sauerkraut and kimchi, any kind of fermented vegetables. Those are really great for replenishing the good bacteria in your gut. And it's really important to stay in tune with that. Actually, personally for me right now, I'm feeling a lot better keeping my fruit to a bare minimum. Like I'll have maybe some berries, like lower glycemic fruit. I like a morning smoothie with maybe some blueberries and sprouts and sea veggies, throw in some hemp seeds. By sea veggies, I mean either spirulina or chlorella, and you could throw in maybe like a handful of spinach or cucumber and some cinnamon to help balance the blood sugars. And I really like this as a smoothie. You could even add other superfoods like maca or bee pollen, ashwagandha to help nourish your adrenals. There's so many amazing foods out there that you can add in. MCT oil is another one. So, yeah, lower glycemic. I do, like, I know they say eat your fruits and veggies, but too much fruit is an issue for some people. Some people are thriving, okay, they're eating all this fruit and they have a six pack and they look great, and that's amazing for them, but that is definitely not for everyone. So if you're wondering why it's not working for you, then that's a good thing, because then you're just open to other possibilities. And I hope that you can try some warming foods, maybe some ginger cinnamon tea you could sip on throughout the day to help keep you more warm and grounded, some curries and bone broths, veggie broths. These are all really great. I recommend eating as plant-based vegan as you possibly can because it's so beautiful for the planet. I mean, we don't want to take up so many resources while we're here. We don't want to contribute to suffering, of course, but you also need to honor your body and what it needs. So this is what happened to me. I was a little bit too much into it, and I was actually avoiding what my body truly needs, which is small amounts of animal protein. So I do feel good when I have some fish, some eggs, some bone broth, but I'm careful of the source. I wouldn't just eat any random anything anywhere. I do definitely avoid dairy because it's mucus forming, and oh my god, getting off of dairy was the best thing I've ever done. After I went off of it, maybe a week later, I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I lost like all this weight around this area. I used to have like a couple chins, and my skin cleared up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something to this. This is just really amazing. So I definitely recommend trying to eliminate dairy. I know it's really addicting. I used to have it like 3 times a day, so I so understand that. But there's actually amazing alternatives out there. Instead of the nut milk, I mean, instead of the dairy milk, you could do pretty much make any kind of nut or seed milk. It's just like the nuts or seeds, water, some vanilla, some cinnamon, and a little sweetener. You could use maybe a little bit of coconut nectar by Cocoa V, or maple syrup. Those are great sweeteners, or a little bit of stevia if you're avoiding like all sweeteners, if you're on kind of an anti-candida diet, which is also amazing. Also, I wouldn't want to overdo it with the grains, especially if your digestive system is a bit weaker and your gut might be in a leaky gut kind of state from parasites and candida over the years breaking into the gut lining. So I personally am feeling so much better keeping the grains and legumes. So this includes lentils and chickpeas, beans, rice, all of the grains. I keep those to pretty much a bare minimum. I'll have some quinoa every now and then, or maybe like if someone offers me some hummus, I'm like, okay, I'll have some of that, a little bit, but not too much. Because you really do feel it on your gut. You feel like more bloated. You can just, yeah, it's exciting because you're gonna, on this path, you're gonna get more and more in tune with what is actually feeling really good for you and what is not feeling good for you. So you can continue to feed your body with the foods that make you feel good, make you feel balanced, bring your gut bacteria into balance. So I hope this brings you a little bit more awareness, and that you can eat as pure as you possibly can, organic, grown with love, preferably if you can get at the farmers markets. That's always amazing to actually directly support and meet the person that is growing your food and putting so much love into it. And it's so vital that we support these people because they're doing such a beautiful thing for the world, and we're actually voting with our dollars what kind of world that we're creating. So it's really nice to vote for people like that as opposed to companies that are destroying the planet and poisoning us. So yeah, vote for your health, vote for beautiful people in the world doing beautiful things, and you're just gonna feel better and better. So I hope this helps you, and have a beautiful day. Thank you. Aloha.